On the outside, I absolutely hope that it's shining on the inside. Listen, y'all, I'm just here for a brief word, a quick one. I was fortunate enough to receive this word from an interview yesterday with a guy by the name of Mario West. It was in conjunction with Prince Daniels Jr. And Mario West is, as you all can see, or if you're listening to this via podcast, is a former professional basketball player in the NBA, as well as playing overseas. He has faced the likes of Kobe Bryant. He has faced the likes of my arch nemesis, LeBron James, even though he's not my nemesis, and really has, it's really no nemesis at all. No, not to be confused with Kanye's brother, Mario. This is definitely a different one, as far as I know. We certainly didn't discuss Kanye, if that is Kanye's brother. So, if so, I don't know if that is who he is. But what I'd like to do is just kind of share what was mentioned, because it was powerful when he said it. It struck me, and I was like, "Whoa, it was deep, and I didn't expect it." You know how sometimes you're just having a conversation and someone is dropping jewels, and along the way of them dropping jewels, they say something that strikes you. And this was one of those times where what he said struck me. So I thought it would be super important for me to share the jewel that I picked up, because as I always tell you all, kind of what I know is what you all will know. So when I'm fortunate enough to hear something that moves me, then I absolutely want to share it with those who are closest to me, that I share messages with on a regular basis. And essentially, what he said, and I'll rewatch, the video to make sure I'm getting it right. But he said, the proof of your desires is in your pursuit. Now listen. See, as soon as I said that, my phone went off. Ding, ding. But really, though, and obviously I slightly rephrased it. But the proof of your desires is in the way you pursue them. I'll say that again. The proof of your desires is in the way you pursue them. Listen, I'm not sure if you really get what that means. Okay, now for folks who are out there, as I call it, dream catching, or working towards something, this may resonate a little bit. For those of y'all who are new to the dream chasing brigade, or activity of, not just goal setting, but, goal getting, whatever, however everyone phrases it. Because, everyone often says the same thing, but we just kind of say it different ways. Yes, this is what, now, he said that during the interview. During the interview, he said it, and I was like, whoa. And I told him, I was like, hey, man, I'm going to quote you on that. I'll probably create some memes. It's for you. I just want to make sure folks know where it came from. So as far as I know, this came from Mario West, and you can find him on Instagram and via social media as well. But he dropped quite a few jewels, but this was certainly one of them that stuck with me. And again, it was the proof of your desires is in the pursuit of them. And what I'd like to do just for a couple minutes is just kind of break down what that means. The proof of your desires is in the way you pursue them. Now, and what I'd like to do, though, is provide a little bit of context from my state of mind to make it make sense, because that's what's also important, is understanding context and meaning. And you might gather your own meaning from this also, which is cool. I think as long as there's some thought provocation, the quote's doing its job, right? Or we're doing our job. The words stand alone by themselves, right? But when you take some time and go, okay, all right, listen. So when you discuss, the proof of your desires, all right, what that suggests to me is a level of accountability. A level of accountability. See, that's the part that I think a lot of people don't often understand when it comes to pursuing goals and what those who are pursuing them go through, right? Because you find yourself in situations, or you put yourself in positions to to succeed, to fail, to be disappointed, to thrive. All these different feelings and emotions enter, and you don't always know what to do with them. You don't always know what to do with them. And it's funny, my business partner Odell and I, we always have all these conversations about, what we're pursuing and why we're pursuing them. And me, I, on more than one occasion, I've thought about, what, like, I'm done, right? I'm hanging it. I'm hoisting my jersey up to the rafters, right? And then, I think back to those moments, or I hear a quote like this, and essentially the proof is in the pudding, which you've heard, but more than that, it's being accountable for what you say you want. It's about being accountable for the things that you say you want. The proof of your desires is in the way you pursue them. How are you pursuing your desires? Some would suggest that maybe you just don't want it that bad. And that's not to say that things won't happen, that you won't experience setbacks. But sometimes it feels, in my experience, that the setbacks, it's like the harder you dream or think of something happening, the more you want it to happen, then something steps in the way. An obstacle presents itself. You go, man, well, some folks may take it as, this is probably why I should hang it up. This probably wasn't meant for me. But really, maybe that is when the pursuit of them is supposed to come. And that's what's like, no. The proof of your desire is the way is in the pursuit of them. Right? The proof in your desire is in the pursuit of said desire. You either want something or you don't. There have been things in life that you probably you didn't need, but you pursued them. You pursued them. This is something I was thinking of. This made me think. Have you all ever misplaced something before? If you've ever misplaced something before, in the comment section, or you can type I have misplaced something, right? I find this interesting to me. Again, I'm speaking to me right now. There have been times I've misplaced something and I shut the house down. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm not sending a tweet, a text. I'm not making a Facebook post. I'm not creating a video. I'm not doing anything until I find what I lost or misplaced. Nothing. I'm shutting it down. Extreme focus. And then I find it. It was right next to me. I had no idea where it was. I looked for an hour. I would not be deterred. I would not be distracted until I found said thing. And then for like a millisecond, I say to myself, what if I pursued everything with that kind of intentionality and purpose and purposeness and being purposeful and without being distracted, without losing focus? What if I pursued everything the way that I pursued that one thing that I misplaced for that long? What if? So now maybe you ask yourself that same question, because as I log off, I'll ask myself that. There have been small things that really haven't been that important, but guess what? The proof of my desire to find it, to locate it, to realize where it was in my pursuit. I proved to myself how important it was to find that thing. It wasn't even that important, right? It didn't move the needle in my life. There's some needles in your life that you'd like to move that are important. So I leave you yet again and still with Mario West's profound quote. The proof of your desires is in the way you pursue them. Not the way someone else pursues them, not the obstacles that may jump in your way, not all the luck you might receive along the way, but ultimately, luck is where opportunity and preparedness meet. You find that the harder you work, the luckier you will get. And here we are, looking deep inside ourselves, asking ourselves the simple question, does our pursuit justify or even equal the proof that we need? That's a question for you to answer personally, and one that I will dig deep to answer myself. Thank you all so very much for popping in and spending some time with me. Feel free in the comment section, if you vibed with this quote, if it made sense to you, go, man, this was deep, man. I'm feeling that. Or whatever thoughts you have about this particular quote, anything you heard in this particular broadcast, please leave it in the comment section. If you happen to come through this by way of Mental Flight School, the podcast, leave your favorite takeaway. I'd appreciate that on iTunes. Otherwise, folks, you know what it is and how it is. Continue to be good to yourself and the people around you and watch the world around you change itself. Remember, 24/7, 365 and 1/4 days a year, that you're good, you're great, you're worth it. And that effort on fire beats knowledge on ice. This is Stan Pearson II. You heard it here first. Peace.